See what we got here. S. Doherty, 85. First, Supersonic. Second, Jesse Cooper, bronze. Shannon Nicole, I'm sorry, there is no medal for fourth place. There's bragging rights, I guess. You made it into the top 5. That's good. Oh, hi, Shekinah, my Thithto. I miss you, Thithto. How are you? Hey, I'm going to FaceTime you later. I want to see little man. I love when I watch a live vid, it says one viewer. I don't understand that, but that's fine. I'm going to let this build for a hot second. Before we get into tonight's first topic, which is watching video games, which has already become a very hotly contested topic amidst my social media, which is fair, because I didn't exactly explain myself. It's Twitter. It's very difficult to explain exactly what you mean with a limited amount of characters with which to explain what you mean. So, there's that. Is the audio on these guys coming through all right? Or should I pop these out and go straight to the phone? Oh man, I love all the hearts. The hearts are so nice, guys. It's really lovely how boom! Explosion of hearts. Heartsplosion. I've got this one molar back here. No matter what I eat, I always get everything stuck in there. You guys have those trap molars? Like there's always one specific one too. That's the tricky one. Audio is good. Fantastic. Okay, great. Hugger rock, bye. All right, bye. Bye for now. Dude, the Dodgers. I know. Oh, gosh. It's so heartbreaking. I've been a Dodger fan since I was a little kid. I remember tidbits. I was 8 in the 88 series when we won last. Hershiser was, a god to me. I didn't really understand gods at that point, but as much as a man could be a god, Oral Hershiser. And that name, too. Like, how many other Orals are there? I don't know of another. The man was he was born to be famous in a crazy way. I love Mexico, too. Mexico, I'm sorry, I'm not making it down to that convention, by the way. Things got a little screwy, and I was told I wasn't going anymore, so it was really a disappointment. But I hope to get down there to a convention at some point with you. I really do. I'd love to make it down there. But anyway, yeah, the Dodgers, guys. I know every Dodger fan out there is bummed with me. 2 years in a row making it to the big dance and just not being able to pull it together. And we might lose Kershaw now, which would be a real bummer because I love that dude. I love the whole squad. It's a great group of guys, and I'm so proud of what they accomplished, and they fought really hard to get to the World Series. But as I said on Twitter, the Red Sox, my hat, I take my hat off, I tip my hat. I don't, even with the Giants, which I really don't like giving the Giants any kind of compliments, being a Dodger fan. But I don't hold weird grudges like that. I don't think we ought to do that. I think it's very unhealthy when we allow our rivalries to become, hateful. I don't think that's a good thing. And I think it's important to give respect where respect is due. And the Red Sox, that was a hell of a season. And that was a hell of a series. You guys did it. So good for you. But still breaks my heart. My heart that bleeds blue blood, Dodger blue blood, is just pouring on the ground. Next year, as they say, they being any team who didn't win the previous year. Next year. All right, well, let's see. Yes, Sandy Woo. Yeah, Sandy Woo. Yes, I notice you. I see you, Sandy Woo. How's the bulk up for the reshoot going? I haven't stopped. I've been in the gym 6 days a week since last October. I haven't, there's been a few weeks where I could only do 5, and a few weeks when I can only do 4 days, but I've been just trying to keep staying as healthy and strong as I can, while simultaneously holding down other jobs like The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which I can't wait till that comes out and drops on your laps December 5th on Amazon. Oh boy, that's exciting. But the Bowl Cup's good, man. I've been working my butt off, and happily so. Like I'm addicted to the gym in ways that I've never been addicted to the gym before. But I never grow old. I mean, I don't know, Danny Baghino. I don't know if I obviously I am growing old. Look at all that salt, guys. Look at the salt. It's coming in. I don't mind it, though. I actually kind of like the salt. I think it's distinguished. Makes you look distinguished. I like Oreos. Some of the comments that you guys have. Give you a cool science fact. Well, here's an uncool science fact that I just saw on from literally following the Science Channel Instagram, which is like a ton of the world's animal population is dying off. That's terrifying. We need to be protecting our planet. We need to be protecting our animals. We need to be protecting each other. We need to be valuing life. Guys, at every single step, at every turn, if something is alive, the only thing I can think of that I can't attribute this to is mosquitoes. I still can't find any reason for mosquitoes at all, or things like, fleas, I suppose. Anything that's just a blood-sucking entity that serves no purpose other than sucking blood, leaving itchy spots on one's body and transmitting diseases, those can all die a horrible death. But anything else, anything that is alive, we need to be valuing at every cost. At all costs, we need to be valuing each other. We, like Sagan says, little blue dot, that we have top scientists scouring the universe right now, trying to find life anywhere else. And we haven't found it. And maybe we will. I'm not opposed to the idea that there might be life out there. I don't know. I'm not God. Who knows? But in the meantime, we've only got one spot where we know for sure it lives. And if we're not protecting it, then we're all hosed. Like big time. It doesn't matter what side of the political aisle you're on. If we don't respect the concept of life, of what is alive, then we all lose. Every single one of us. So we have got to. The animals, the environment, our own bodies, our friends, our families, our enemies. Love your enemy. Guys, oh man. Ooh. I'm going to get down off this soapbox for a hot second, because I could stay on this for days and days. And really the rest of my life. I'll be talking about it for the rest of my life. Empathy. We have to build empathy. We have to look across at anyone, somebody who's spitting hate and vitriol at us, and see that they are lost, they are terrified, they are hurting. Have pity for that person. Know that at one point they were a child who was probably abused in one way, shape, or form, in a way that you might not even understand. People that you think are evil right now, that are very disturbed, that do need help. They were a child once, and they were abused, and they have dealt with crazy trauma that has led them down a crazy road. And if we just keep hating them, then we are not stopping any of this. We are only perpetuating the hate. Of light. These are the things we need to be putting out into the world. We have got to look at people that we would never love before and see the human being behind their eyes. We got to see it. Whoa! See, I just start crying. That's the problem. I start talking about this stuff and I just start crying. Anyway, Ignite the lights. What is he talking about? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Or girl. You might not be a bro. I call everybody bro anyway. Do I? I don't know that I do. Meta. It is kind of meta, right? Anyway, what was it? Oh yeah, I was going to talk about gaming, watching video games. Because I felt like that was kind of what instigated this live. Because I felt like if you follow me on Twitter, then you would have seen that I was kind of having this Twitter discussion, as much of a discussion as one can have, with some go back and forth with some limited tweets. But somebody was talking about how they're trying to keep their kid from being a little asshole, which, by the way, kudos. We should be monitoring our children and keeping them from turning into little assholes. But part of that is genuinely loving them and teaching them self-love and teaching them that they are worthy of love. That's hugely important. But also, being a parent. And sometimes you gotta rein your kids in and give them boundaries. Boundaries are good. And anyway, talking about, what their kids are up to. And more and more, I see kids who are, it's difficult for me to wrap my head around, but those of you who are kids out there, you know this, or some adults, a lot of adults do this, but those of you with kids, you know this very well, that kids now, instead of playing the video game, they're watching someone else play the video game. And they're not just watching somebody play the video game like live, like right in their living room. Like I have a couple of sisters, particularly my younger sister, Shekinah, who she would watch me play video games all the time. And that's cool. There's something that's communal about that, I guess, in its own respect. And she'd even like chime in and go try this or do that or whatever. Like that kind of felt normal-ish, I suppose. But I don't know. I guess part of it is I feel like video games are already, or can be. They are not. I won't say that video games are a waste of time, because I've spent a lot of time playing video games, and I very much enjoyed the entertainment value and the storytelling, and nowadays particularly, they're getting so incredible. But they can be an incredible time suck, and time that we are spending playing these games, oftentimes is time we're not spending doing things that we really need to be doing in life, like adulting, guys, like adulting, or just being responsible for other things, or learning new trades or talents, or improving the talents that we already have, or whatever that is. I'm not judging you. You know your time usage. I just find it interesting that it was a thing that you could do that you may or may not be spending your time on, and now you're not even doing the thing. You're watching someone else do the thing, and that's the way you're spending your time. Now, drilling down into that, yes, I understand that people do this for a variety of reasons. Going and watching clips for tips and tricks, or trying to get past a certain part in a game or a level, or watching somebody else do that. And by the way, even the entertainment value, certainly, of watching someone who is way better than you at a video game play that video game, particularly in tournament style things like rock and roll. I get that. I had tweeted that I find a disconnect because somebody had said, well, what about watching professional sports? Now, to me, professional sports is something I don't have the option of playing professional sports. I will never play professional sport unless I somehow get some crazy wild hair where I start, picking up billiards or darts or something that, when you're a little longer in tooth, you can go pick up in your salt in your hair years as a professional. I'm not going to go and walk onto an NBA court or an NFL field or anything of that level at this point in my life. I don't have that option. Moreover, going and playing a pickup game of football or basketball or anything like that is a far more difficult thing to just jump into. And it's far easier to have a video game system at home and play a game. We have the options. We have the technology to play a video game ourselves more often than not. So that's the thing. Also, if we do go play a pickup game of basketball, we're not in an arena with, 40,000 people and that whole situation. There's an atmosphere. There's a experience involved in professional sports that you can't simulate or even begin to simulate by yourself. It's a total disconnect. Now, granted, I'm not good enough to go play against the heavy hitters that are playing in, Call of Duty tournaments or anything like that either. But I can still go play Call of Duty. I can still actually go and participate in what that is and go watch the story and, all that jazz. So that's all. I'm certainly not trying to harsh on people who like to watch other people play video games. In fact, we've now gotten to that place where video games have gotten so good and people have gotten so good at playing them that is a legitimate form of entertainment. I was more concerned with kids who, I don't know, this has become kind of their new, I guess, entertainment. Like, I saw it a lot with Minecraft. Like, kids, instead of playing Minecraft, they're just watching other, and by the way, Minecraft is a lot of building. So, instead of going and doing the building, you're just watching other people build. And I don't know. For me, there's a little bit of a, like, I don't totally, I can understand going and seeing, again, like I said in Twitter, like quick clips. Look at the thing that they built. Like going and watching a video, like a super time lapse, and like, oh wow, that's the whole structure. But sitting there for hours watching somebody else, it's like reality. You know what it is? This is also my problem with reality television. This barely reality anymore anyway. That's why they call it non-scripted or unscripted or alternative or whatever the hell they're calling it nowadays. But guys, think about it. When you're watching reality television, you are choosing to live someone else's life. That's what you're doing. You're not even actively living your life. You are just a spectator in someone else's life. That's terrifying to me. I personally think those are plugs that we gotta pull. We needn't be tuning in to being a voyeur or a spectator in other people's lives. We got to be active and present, living our own lives and connecting again with each other. And yes, go and play games and watch movies and do all the things